Hey everyone, it's Dan with hooksandhowlers.com. Today we're down fishing at North Padre, doing some shark fishing, and we wanted to take a few minutes and share with you some of our rigging techniques, show you a little bit about what we're using for bait and some of the gear that we brought with us. One thing with shark fishing, you never quite know what kind of bait you're going to have, so we've tried to design our gear and plan on when we're packing to kind of be versatile with that. We caught a lot of whiting and some other small bait fish yesterday. We've caught a few sharks this morning, had some good luck. This afternoon, bait fish kind of turned off, so we're going to rig a bonita that we brought with us. We're going to show you a little bit about that and kind of what our rig looks like. Now, this is about a 5-pound bonita. Normally in the summer months, we run a full bonita out. We're fishing about 900 yards offshore. Today, it's February here in Texas, so we're going to cut this up and show you a little bit smaller rig. Now, a lot of times, especially in the summer months, we're using these. This is a 7731 AD. It's a needle eye. We're running a steel leader on these. This is a Mustad hook that we carry in our store. This is a 16-aught. We run these a lot when we're running a whole fish like this. Sometimes we'll even run a 14. And depending on the conditions, sometimes we'll even run a circle hook. This is a 20-aught Mustad circle that we carry as well. Today, since we're going to be cutting this down a little bit, we're going to use a 10-aught similar to these needle eyes. It's a 7731 also, just a little bit smaller hook. So we're going to cut this somewhere close to half. I think that's going to be appropriate for the size of fish that we're fishing for today. Now when we look at these leaders, again, we're going to use this 10-aught. And again, since you never really know what size of hook might be the most appropriate, we like to fish with about a 6 to 12 foot leader system. This is 250-pound coated cable on this 10-aught that we're going to use. We hook these hooks on a 2-foot section, and then we put another 4 to 6 foot section together that we'll tie this to. That gives us a little more versatility. A lot of times, especially if you can catch stingrays and some other fish like that, that are excellent bait here in Texas, you'll even want to run multiple hooks, and this gives you a little more versatility when we do that. So I've got this 2-foot section here, and again, I'm going to fish with about a 4-foot section of 480-pound uncoated cable tied to that. Now, on the other end of this leader, we're running a sliding trace system. So we've got about a 15-foot section of 400-pound monofilament where we've got 500-pound snap swivels on the ends, and we have a swivel that will slide in the middle. And to that, we're going to use a 12-ounce spider weight that we put together. This will allow the fish to move a little bit, let him run a little bit before that weight digs in and sets that hook. Now, a couple things that you're going to want when you are going shark fishing. This is something else we're carrying in our store. This is a 25-inch bait needle. We coat these especially so that they won't rust in the saltwater conditions. And essentially it's a 1/4-inch steel needle with a slot in the end that's going to allow us to pull that leader through and seat it just right. So we're going to insert this into this bait. You typically want to come out the skin just before the point where you want that hook to set. Now we slide this leader over the needle. Normally we'll run a hook big enough that will slide over like this. We pull that leader system through the fish itself. Again, you won't need a 25-inch bait needle for a small fish like this, for a small bait like this, but if you're running a full fish, you need that extra length on those. So makes it awfully easy when you're trying to seat that hook. Now you can see normally there's different ways that you can do this. Once you get that hook seated, sometimes we'll run zip ties around this. Sometimes we don't feel that you need to do that at all if the hook presents itself nicely. But today I think that's going to work real well for us. So again, we're going to take this, we're going to run this with our 4-foot section of 480-pound cable. That's going to give us somewhere around a 7-foot leader. And then to this leader, again, we've got a 15-foot, 400-pound trace that we'll use. And as you can see, this swivel can slide almost the entire length of the trace. And it's to that swivel that we'll attach our weight. And the rest is just tying this to a snap swivel that we already have on our main line. We'll run this bait probably about 300 yards offshore today. Hopefully we'll get a hookup later on.